Yeah, definitely. I think that let future Adam worry about it. It's sort of
Yeah.
the easy way out or the easy excuse to do whatever you want today, and think that everything's going to work out tomorrow. Of course, we found out that the more you the more you put in now, the better off it's going to be. It's I forget I forget who it was, but if you do the easy things, you have a hard life. If you do the hard things, you
Yeah.
have an easy life. In the idea that if you work hard now, things are going to get easier for you in the future. Otherwise, if you're just living for today, it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun in the moment, but you're never really going to get to the next level, I guess. You're never going to reach something meaningful. You're never going to have built some kind of, like for us, we're building the podcast, we're building the book, we're building a listener base, like we're building these things that are beyond us. We could never do that, obviously, if we just stuck to the partying every week and the watching TV every night, and just letting future Adam worry about it, just living for today and not worrying about tomorrow.
What are some main things you wish you were taught in school? Like maybe stuff that you've read in books or just general lessons that you kind of have to learn along the way.
Yeah, there's probably two types of answers or two types of lessons. One is like the very specific tactical lessons, and then the other type of lesson is the high level, the more theoretical type of lesson. So like a tactical thing would be like, say, in personal finances, pay yourself first is a thing from like Rich Dad Poor Dad, from the Barefoot Investor, who's an Aussie bloke, from the Total Money Makeover book, from the Richest Man in Babylon. All these personal finances book all talk about paying yourself first. So they're saying that as soon as you get your paycheck, save 10% of it, put 10% of that away that you don't touch, that you build up, and then over obviously a long period of time, if you keep putting 10% away, you'll end up with a nice little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So that's like a very tactical thing that I don't think school ever prepares you for. The personal finances, how to actually manage your money when you get paid, and your pay comes in. What do you do with those? How do you sort of put them into different buckets, or how do you divvy up how you're going to spend that money? That's like a very tactical thing of what we never get taught. Then there's sort of like the more theoretical thing, which is almost like the approach to life. Which, if we talk about the idea of embracing uncertainty, the idea of being willing to take risks, being willing to try new things, be willing to start little projects like this, like whether it's a podcast, a YouTube channel, writing a book, starting a business, any of these things, just having a crack is like almost like a philosophy, an approach to life. You don't know if it's going to work, and in fact, it's almost definitely not going to work, but you just need to be willing to have a crack. And that first time you do it, you're going to learn so much that the second time you have a crack, it's going to be a lot better. So that's sort of like a lesson in books that I think was never really instilled in us in school.
If you could have a giant billboard anywhere with anything on it and getting a message out to millions or billions, what would you say and why?
Our tagline over the course of this book has evolved to become read books and do shit. So that would be on the billboard: read books and do shit. Read books is obviously important to learn a whole bunch of stuff, but reading in isolation, taking in so much information, it doesn't really give you that much. You need to add the second part of the equation, which is do shit, which is go out and do something with that information that you've just gathered. So that would be the big billboard: read books and do shit. And I don't know if we'd be, depending on the billboard, it might have to have an asterisk
Yeah, I was
instead
just
of an
thinking that.
I.
Yeah, yeah.
Read books and
I
do sh asterisk t.
I noticed on one of your TV interviews that they had to say the stuff they never taught
Yeah,
you.
the stuff. Yeah.
So going on to the second half of the quickfire rounds, this one is from James Lipton from the Actors Studio. This is ones he'd ask every
Oh,
guest at the
nice.
very end. So what is your favorite word?
Intentionality. And it only
Right.
became my favorite word probably 18 months ago. But just about, it's easy to follow the herd and easy to do what everybody else is doing, but it's a lot harder to take that intentionality and actually pick what you want to do and then go for it. Like aim at a target. A lot about Jordan Peterson's book as well, Beyond Order.
Yeah.
Aim at the target. You're not going to hit the target unless you aim at the target. So being intentional about picking a goal and aiming towards it and working towards it. So that'd be probably my favorite buzzword of the last 18 months.
Right. And least favorite word?
The first thing that is moist, but it doesn't actually bother me, but it seems to bother a lot of other
It
people.
bothers everyone. Yeah.
But it doesn't really bother me that too much. Least favorite word. Um, Potential, because I think potential is it's almost it can be a blessing and a curse. If you say someone's got a lot of potential or somebody had a lot of potential and did make the most of their potential, I think it uh, ultimately it boils down to you've got to actually make the most of what you got. Whether people think you've got potential or not, it's completely up to you to make the most of it.
That's a good one. I like that. Um, so what sound or noise do you love?
A grand piano, some nice classical grand piano. I used to play piano a lot as a kid. Since moving out of home, haven't had it, but I'm moving in a couple of months to a place where I'll be able to get a piano. So I'm looking forward to tickling those ivory keys again soon.
Have you got a favorite song?
The song I enjoy playing the most is called Polonaise by Chopin, commonly known as a
Mm,
military polonaise. I enjoy playing it because it's a lot of
mm,
energy and can get right into it, can lean right into it. So
mm.
that's definitely the favorite one to play.
Right. And what sound or noise do you hate?
Can't stand chalkboard at all. Any
Mm,
kind of chalkboard squeaking, nails, even the chalk itself squeaks. So I don't know who invented that, but
mm.
I'm glad that it's slowly dying its death. Yeah,
Yeah. A painful death.
very, very.
What's your favorite curse word?
Um, I like the C bomb. I like using it. I like hearing it. I always find it funny when they do it in movies and TV shows.
Mm,
I think it's less frowned upon in Australia. I feel like it's more a term of endearment in Australia. I don't know what it's like in the UK. I think in the US they take it pretty harshly. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I think it's a funny one here.
Well, you'll know Jim Jeffries. I think that's why he got so famous in
Yeah.
America because he was like one of the first comedians to use it like profusely.
And we didn't think anything of it, but yeah, in the US
Yeah,
it was shocking.
yeah. I think like the more you use a word, the less like meaning comes from it.
Oh, definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I think it'd be pretty cool to be a rock star. I think it'd take a hell of a lot of effort, a hell of a lot of luck
Mm,
as well. But I think that
mm.
I'd be pretty happy to be up on stage every night.
And what profession would you least like to do?
Anything in the medical field, especially like pediatrics or something where you have to deal with sick kids and stuff. I don't think I could handle it. I don't think I'm glad that there are people out there that do it. I definitely don't have the moral character, the strength, the fortitude to be able to do it myself. So I'm glad somebody
Yeah,
else is doing it.
yeah. I've got a few. I've got a couple of friends who are nurses. My partner was working in a care home during the pandemic,
Mm.
and another friend. This is what I think I would be like. He started nursing at university, and he went to his first placement, which was in a care home for elderly people. And
Mm.
as soon as one had to go to the toilet, he went in there. He was told to clean it up, and as soon as he saw, he just went, "Nope, I'm out. Can't."
I'm
I'd be
out.
like,
Yeah.
"That's exactly what I'd do. It's not for me."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I couldn't do it either, but glad some people do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gives you more respect for them.
Mm.
Um, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I'd like him to say, "Welcome, come on in." If there's
Yeah,
a chance that he might not let me in, but yeah, if it is real, then I'd love to be welcomed in.
that's a good one. Well, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
what this last one I just thought of now, and a question I ask people all the time is why do you dress the way that you dress? Because everyone dresses for to a certain extent because they want other people, they want to give off a certain impression to other people. So what impression do you want to give off?
Man, especially the last 18 months, I've been dressing like an absolute slob. So I think there's probably an element of in fact, definitely an element of not trying too hard. So definitely trying to give off the vibe that I'm not trying too hard. That's for sure, which can be, I guess, a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in the sense of humility, but definitely a bad thing in the sense of probably not taking myself seriously enough.